Hi, it's Jerry with I Love RV Life. For over 5 years, I have been looking for a reliable backup camera solution for our 40-foot fifth wheel. We finally found one. It's the Haloview RD7. I'm really excited to start this installation and get this camera on the road. This is the challenge I've been dealing with when I've been trying to find a rear camera that will work effectively for us. This is a 40-foot fifth wheel. This is a Heartland Gateway, and from the top where the camera will be located to approximately the dash of the truck is going to be a little over 50 feet in length, and then I'm having to deal with the steel that's surrounding this Super Duty cab. And I've been looking at rear view cameras that are wireless, completely wireless, and I just haven't been able to find an effective solution because they just pixelate. You have all kinds of problems. Now I have found a solution with this new product, and I'm really excited about it. Well, hi, this is Jerry, and I am excited today. We have this new product, the Haloview RD7, that has been sent to us for review. They contacted us and said, why don't you give this a try? Here's been the challenge with rear cameras that we have tried, and we have tried multiples. You've not seen them on our channel because they just weren't effective, and we don't do negative reviews. And here's the challenge. From the rear of our fifth wheel, when we are connected to our Super Duty F350 Ford, it's a little over 50 to 52 feet from the back of the camera to the dash where the wireless camera is located. And this just really has exceeded the capabilities of a lot of these cameras. Some of them will work that 50 feet, but then you add the metal that surrounds that from the Super Duty cab, and you get pixelization, and we just haven't been able to get a reliable solution. We don't do negative views, so you haven't seen those on our channel. But we were contacted by Haloview and said, look, we've got a brand new product with a new solution for these longer fifth wheels, and we would like for you to review it. We'll send it to you and let you give it a try. And that's what we've done. And I'm really excited to be able to install this today and fix this problem. The uniqueness of this RD7 product that Haloview has is from the rear camera in the back, we now have a cable that will go to the front of the fifth wheel that will be mounting a repeater, and will only be, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 feet from the dash from that repeater. So we've greatly shortened that distance that the rear camera will have to communicate to this big, large 7-inch monitor. And we're just really excited about all the capabilities that this system has. And we're going to start the installation now. Let me show you how this product is configured. The Haloview RD7 comes in this nice box, and it contains all the components, list the tools that will be needed for the installation. They provide you some examples of the different types of configurations that can be used, user manuals, warranty information, those types of things. Then inside the box, we'll be able to see this very nice 7-inch monitor. I'm really excited about having that as a rear view mirror for the first time in a long time. This is the backup camera that you'll be seeing greater detail as we start the installation. All of our cables that will be needed for connecting to the repeater, they're provided as well. This is a very long cable. I think it's 12 meters in length. This is the small repeater that will be mounting near the front of the fifth wheel that will actually be communicating with the actual camera itself and to the monitor. Let's see, we have a number of other things in here as well. You've got various mounts that can be used for mounting the camera. We also have brackets that were provided along with a hood to be able to help with the screening the sun. Various power cables are located in here. Lots of different zip ties, powering options, they're varied. We'll be going into these in a little bit more detail as we come forward. Some hardware is located in here as well. If you don't want to go with the hardwire version, they also have that auxiliary lighter power, the 12-volt power connection that most of the trucks and vehicles have as well. Then we have our power inserters that are located here. We have a number of different solutions here that I probably won't be taking advantage of all these initially, but this system can support multiple cameras. So you've got various triggers to be able to do rear camera, left camera, right camera, all those types of things. I'm only going to have the rear camera at this stage. We've got all of our antennas for the monitor and for the repeater that are provided. And so we have a complete solution here, less our tools. So I'm really excited about this. This is a picture of the possible application they have sent to me. It actually comes on a larger diagram here showing, you know, the different pieces and parts and the cabling and so forth, and how your wiring instructions can be used here. You can power either in the rear, or you can power up toward the front, and we're going to be powering toward the front. And they provide this as an example of how you can mount the camera in the back. We're not going to go with this option here of running the cable across the roof. We're actually going to attempt to do this in more of a factory installation, running the wiring to the inside down underneath the carriage of the fifth wheel and up toward the front, so we don't have the exposed wires on the ceiling. There's nothing wrong with that. I just have a preference that I want this to be more of a factory type of installation. I don't think it's going to take me that much longer to be able to accomplish this. So there's two components here that still make this a wireless solution, and we'll kind of call it a hybrid. This RD7 that we have has this big, look at this, massive, fully featured 7-inch screen. It can support multiple cameras. At this stage we'll only be operating one. Hopefully we'll be adding some others here in the near future. Left, right. You can even put a front camera that it can record, so you know you can have a total solution here for your camera needs while you travel. And then you have this repeater. So this hybrid has a cable that will go to the back of the fifth wheel. So this will be located up underneath the pin, and we'll have a cable that will go all the way back to the camera. And instead of stretching this across the roof as one of the examples has, there's nothing wrong with doing that if that's what you want to be able to do. We're going to try to go to more of a factory style install, to where we're still going to be putting this right up underneath the pin, but we're going to be running our cable under the carriage and then up from behind the wall here up to our camera. And I think that's going to give us a very clean factory look when we go to do our installation. So the benefit is, instead of trying to communicate from the rear of the camper over 50 to 52 feet through steel of the cab, we're only going to be going somewhere between 10 and 12 feet from this repeater to the monitor, and we're going to get a far, far more reliable connection to that rear camera. We'll have that pixelation, we'll have those frame dropouts. I think this is going to be a far superior solution for these longer fifth wheels. Let's get started with the installation. I'm going to mount the camera right around here. I've got a hood that will stop this marker light from reflecting into it in the evenings when I'm driving. I'm afraid that if I mount it up here higher above this, I might get some type of residual reflection with the camera pointing down. So I'm going to mount it here. So we'll mount it something like that. The wire will go right through here. There's a rubber grommet, and then I'll put some silicone behind it to kind of seal it here, keep it from leaking. And I'm going to start with a pilot hole, and I have to go up to about a 3/4 to get all the way through. Go and inside and make sure I got all the way through. Alright, that made it through. Now I'm going to use a 3/4 inch bit so that I can get the wire nut all the way through the wire fitting. Alright, now we'll go ahead and mount our bracket. Get it nice and square here. Put me a couple holes in here for pilot holes so I don't split this outside. Okay, this is where it's going to take just a little bit of patience. You'll see that there is a little bit of a rubber grommet here that will help seal this. I'm going to also put just a dab of die-core around it. But I'm going to thread this through the hole. And you can't completely assemble this yet. You've got to screw it on first, then feed it. So let's see if I can't get lucky in getting this into the hole all the way through. We'll see. And this rubber will seal around this hole here and give me a nice tight fit. Happy with that. But, let's make sure. I'm just going to put one screw in here for starters. And make sure that cable went all the way through. Okay, let's go check it on the inside, make sure that cable came through. Okay, that was perfect. Big thing here is you don't want to over tighten these screws and strip it out. You only get one chance. So just kind of pull them snug. Okay. Mount this now and we'll do some fine tuning later. I don't know exactly where I want it to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this hood on. Kind of keep the light from beating down into it. Alright, I don't know where this is going to go for now. I'm just going to snug these up until we can fine tune them later. Alright, next comes the fun stuff. and that's going to be running the big cable. This is the option that I took for running the wiring instead of across the roof. If you look inside here, there's the hole right at the very top. Here, I'll point to it. It's located right there where I brought the camera inside this entertainment center area. And then I ran the cable down behind the TV. It's real simple. This, matter of fact, this was the easiest part of the project. And then if you'll notice down here, right at the bottom there, I ran the cable through the floor down up underneath. Now let's go outside and I'll show you what actually took the longest time in this project. To make this maybe a 1 hour, probably at most, installation, I could have taken this light off right here, use the power inserter to draw power from this, and then run the cable down across the top of the roof. They provide some fasteners that I could put on the roof. But I really wanted this to look more like a factory installation, so that's the reason I ran that wiring on the inside. Again, this is what took the longest amount of time. You don't have to take your whole black pan down, this protective pan that's used to keep weather out from underneath your camper. If you'll notice, you have these bolts. Most of these have a bolt here. I just took an electric drill with a 3/8 adapter, and I just popped them all off down on one side. And that probably took about an hour maybe to pull them all off, maybe not that much time. And then I ran the cable up under this. There's actually a raceway. There are these bars where you can see other electric wires that are running, both 12 volt, etc. And I just ran that cable straight down the line and then came right back and popped all these screws back in. I didn't show that on the video. It really wasn't too difficult, just pretty basic task. But again, you don't have to take this whole thing down. You just need to pop them loose on one side, just far enough to be able to see where the cable comes up. Let me show you where the wiring and where I put the repeater at. This is the front of the fifth wheel. It's going to be a little dark. Right here at the bottom, you can see where I brought the cable in. It's located right here. And then I had, if you'll notice here, I had a fuse block that I was able to power the unit with. And then I came here to the side and just drilled a 3/4 inch hole. And you'll also notice I'm using a rubber grommet around those. You can buy those things for pennies a piece to be able to protect the wiring. You can see where I'm actually bringing the wire in. And then there's the adapter cable that you're seeing right here. This is where you actually do the power insertion. So I'm doing the power insertion right here at the very front of the repeater. Now I did make one other addition. If you'll notice, you'll see the power inserter on one side, and then you'll see these extra wires on the side. I'll show you what I did here on the front. So walking here around to the front of the fifth wheel, you'll see I added a power switch here to where I can turn power off to this unit. I currently have it off. And then there's the repeater that's located right there. So I'm literally, maybe 10, 11, 12 feet max from the camera. And I've already hooked this thing up and set it up. And the quality is amazing. I am so impressed with this. Let's go inside the truck and I'll show you what it looks like. We're in the pickup truck, and this is an F350, and as in any truck or something even like a Class C, the dash real estate is at a premium. So you see this Lego looking thing that we've got here. This is where we mount our 8-inch Samsung tablet. And if it wasn't for that, I would have this screen mounted right up here. They provide us with one of these adhesive-backed mounting units that we could have used, but we're going to keep the GPS there. So where do we place this? And this was absolutely ideal. They provided us with this very heavy-duty metal bracket. I mean, I'm shaking it really, really hard. You can see that it doesn't move at all. So regardless of the bumps we hit, this thing is going to absolutely, stay in place. We're not worried about that at all. And then just the visibility, from sitting here at the steering wheel, I'm going to be able to keep this in the corner of my eye. Pretty pleased with that. So, I've got rear view camera now. I've got my radio. I'm going to have my GPS set up. as we have there. Now, one of the things that they suggest is that we run the antenna up. You'll see in a minute that we found that that was just absolutely not necessary. We're only, roughly about 10 to 12 feet to that repeater transmitter that we have it right under the pin that I showed you earlier. Now, setup was about 15 seconds. Press one button and press one button on the repeater and it's done. And then once done, you don't have to do it again. That's really nice. I'm going to turn the power on here. And then I want you to watch this, how quickly, you don't have to sync it up again. You press that power button and within seconds, I'm going to zoom in here so we can get that ambient light out. I want you to look at the clarity of that screen. This is a 720p high definition camera and monitor. Is that incredible? I am so impressed. We're about 50 feet from those two garage doors. Look at this. You can literally see the knobs and the spotlights that we have there on the back. And really looking at this, it's probably about the size of a 2-lane highway, maybe. And then when you look at the distance to the left and right, we could easily see 4 lanes out to about 50 feet with incredible clarity, and then even further back as well. Oh my, to have this view from behind our camper for the first time in 5 years, I'm ecstatic. And then just to be able to get this quality of video is just absolutely amazing. I'm going to be real slow here and I want you to see this. This is what I was talking about. There's my camera signal. Look at that. Full bars. Full bars, even with the antenna turned sideways. That's why that signal quality is just absolutely off the hook. So now, sitting here at a glance just from the corner of my right eye, through the dash, even my GPS up to the windshield and back, if you can see that. And then coming back down, look at that. The camera does not give this justice. I wish that it did. Looking back, it looks small from here, but actually sitting from where I'm at, this is just an absolutely huge display and the clarity is just absolutely spectacular. I could not be happier for the first time in 5 years. Look at that. We've got a rear view from the back of our fifth wheel. That is just really something. Well, the Haloview installation, I couldn't be happier with it. I probably have about 4 to 5 hours in the installation. Again, a lot of that is because of my demands, not demands of Haloview. The RD or Range Dominator 7 is going to be a fantastic addition. The signal quality is just absolutely superb. I couldn't be happier with that. If you were to use the basic installation, I would think that you could probably put this thing in maybe 3 hours, less than 4 max, by running the cable across the top of your roof. If you wanted to be able to do something, I have a 40-foot fifth wheel, and the cable that they provided was absolutely perfect for my 40-foot installation. It was an exact fit. I couldn't have asked for anything better. And that took a better part of a day. But again, that was my demands, not the demands on this unit. I really appreciate the folks at Haloview providing me with this evaluation unit. I look forward to showing you some of the results on our next trip as we go down the road. I can't keep from looking at it. It's just an absolutely fantastic view from the back of this unit, something that we've been wanting to have really for several years now, but just could not find a functional unit. So what I will do, I'm going to give a complete write-up on our website, our I Love RV Life website. You will be able to see links to that review at the end of this video, as well as in the description. I'll have diagrams and those types of things of what we did. I also provide plenty of links on where you can purchase this as well. So as always, I just love doing these types of projects, and when they turn out as fantastic as this Haloview RD7, oh wow, I really do love RV life.